Hello everyone, I am Aura, the energy storage market analyst in MA team. Today I'm going to share with you guys hot market dynamics in April. So firstly, let's look at market updates about energy storage market. On April 4, LG New Energy, one of South Korea's battery big three, announced that its planned investment of $5.5 billion battery plant in Arizona has begun construction and is expected to be put into production in 2026. LG New Energy said it also plans to produce LFP batteries for energy storage systems at this new plant, with an annual production capacity of 17 GWh. This action could be a signal that U.S. customers such as Nidec and NextEra are demanding non-Chinese capacity in their supply chains, which is driving overseas manufacturers to actively expand production. For UK market, which is leading the European energy storage sector, Q1 saw lowest new capacity installed 184 MW since 2022 in UK BESS market. The new capacity came from 6 new battery energy storage units. Previously, 64 MW capacity is expected in the pipeline for Q1, including 567 MW is expected and over nearly 100 MW is delayed from previous quarters. Only 184 MW come line in Q1, 258 MW delay into Q2, and 272 MW delay beyond Q2. The main driver of connection delays is still the grid connection process. New reform will be implemented in 25 Q1, indicating delays in this year. From Model Energy, only 200 MW to 500 MW of this 1.7 GW in the pipeline for for this Q2 is likely to begin commercial operation in next quarter. So recent good news for Netherlands. The authorities in the Netherlands have allocated 100 million euros in subsidies to the deployment of battery storage with solar projects for next year, as the country continues to struggle with a lack of power flexibility and grid limitations. The funding is part of a 416 million subsidy program, multi-year program Climate Fund 2025 that was announced last year. The subsidies are to facilitate the deployment of 116 MW to 330 MW of battery storage, which would drive the APTM market in Netherlands. According to S&P, now Netherlands shipped over 400 MWh rest last year. About the updates on market players. After IPO suspension, China's top integrator, Hyperstrong, targets U.S. and international markets. On June 2023, Hyperstrong submitted its IPO application to the SEC, and on July 9, the SEC raised 75 questions in 14 categories, including considering the competitive environment of the domestic and foreign electrochemical energy storage system market and the differences in the competition pattern, explain the main reasons and considerations of the issuer did not expand overseas business. It is said that IPO suspension is a key driver for Hyperstrong to consider global expansion. Last year, it deployed at 10 GWh in China, and this year it expects to do 20 GWh. The company has now set up office in California, Frankfurt, and Australia to target the North American, EMEA, and Asia Pacific regions respectively, with a Singapore office covering the international operations at large scale. Next, let's move to PV market updates. Malaysia's Ministry of Energy Transition and Water has announced an incentive scheme for residential PV installations. The Solar RIS will offer new net metering users rebates of Malaysia 1,000 kilo to Malaysia 4,000. Rebate allocation will be on first-come, first-served basis. To qualify for funds, PV systems must be running by March 33, 2025, or before quotas are used up. According to S&P, now Malaysia installation forecast is 1,451 megawatts for this year, and expects nearly 15% from this year to next year. On April 1, Malaysia's solar RIS project officially entered the application stage. According to the current EPC price, like 3 yuan per watt, this subsidy project can cover at least half of the installation cost. For the long-term market potential, it is optimistically estimated that the total development potential of Malaysia exceeds 200 gigawatts. On April 8, according to AB Solar reports, in the first quarter of 2024, Brazil added nearly 4 gigawatts of new PV installed capacity, bringing Brazil's cumulative PV installed capacity to more than 40 gigawatts. If the data is accurate, then Brazil's new installed capacity in the first quarter of 2024 achieved a rapid growth of 34% Q-on-Q, which is an excellent performance even compared with the high base in the same period last year. It is expected that Brazilian market demand will remain stable in this year. On April 11th, Australia Prime Minister Authority Albanese announced a strategic intervention industry policy following the example of the US IRA, pledging direct government support for domestic manufacturing in clean energy sectors, such as PV. The legislation, named the Future Made in Australia Act, will have its implementation details unveiled in next month's federal budget. It is expected the new Future Made in Australia Act will have under its remit numerous already announced policies and programs designed to boost domestic manufacturing capacity. For example, Solar Sunshot Plan is already announced on March 2024 with Australia $1 billion support. The European Solar PV Industry Alliance (ESIA) has published a 10-action plan geared toward delivering 30 gigawatts of EU solar manufacturing capacity by 2030. According to the alliance, the European solar industry's production costs are currently between 1.5 to 2.3 times higher than in China. It has calculated that the industry would need 18 billion euros to 24 billion euros in investment support and 4 billion euros and to 16 billion euros annually for operating costs to deliver 30 gigawatts. The action plan process proposes targeted support from the European Union's temporary crisis and transition framework, a 1 billion euros investment from the EU Innovation Fund, and a partnership between ESIA and the EIB, which it says could generate 15 billion euros of investment in PV manufacturing by 2027. There are details for planning actions. It covers financial support, supply chain, demand-side policies, scales, R&D, and member states. So on April 17, Astral Talent wafer facility was officially put into operation, with a current effective capacity of 1 gigawatt and a total planned production capacity of 5 gigawatt. Astral currently has 3 gigawatt of cell and module production capacity in Thailand. It also plans to build a module production facility in Texas, USA. Australia's currently master plan is to have a total integrated production capacity of 5 gigawatts between Thailand and the US. Its ingot wafer link only includes wafer, mainly considering the subsequent anti-circumvention requirement from US. So the last is about the US market. The Biden administration is expected to remove a trade exemption for bifacial solar modules imported to the US. According to reports from Reuters, bifacial solar modules now represent about 98% of imports. The policy for bifacial solar modules has experienced multiple setbacks from 2018. Now, the bifacial implementation may be revoked once again, this time by the Biden administration following a petition by Q-Cells, which has a large manufacturing footprint in the US. According to an industry note from Lost Capital Partners, bifacial exemption is is likely to be revoked in May and go into effect in June. So this is the market hot dynamics on April. Thanks for listening.